All right, guys, we are back for another Dokkan Battle video, and we are getting pretty close to getting the reveal of the Worldwide Download Celebration characters. We will play the fourth teaser in a second here, but just to let you guys know, I believe that characters probably will be coming out on the 29th, 28th, 30th, in this range. One of those 3 days, we're going to get either a dual Dokkan Fest or a Dokkan Fest plus a Carnival. We still don't know what Global is getting this week either. Global could still potentially get Jiren, although I think with all these teaser stuff, maybe Global is not going to get another banner before then. We'll see how things are going to work out. All right, let's play this teaser, and then we'll talk about what we're going to see after this. So, it seems, immediately I think we can kind of just close off a lot of avenues here. Definitely a Super Saiyan. Right about here, the noise that you hear. I mean, that's the Super Saiyan noise, right? Like we all know that. So, that will take out things like Dragon Ball Saga, some celebration that wouldn't include a Super Saiyan. It's really not that surprising. I mean, I could touch on a lot of the, like, you know, there's been a war basically the last couple of days, but, like, you know, discussing about Dragon Ball Saga deserving, like, dual Dokkan Fest and big celebration and stuff like that. At the end of the day, it just comes down to they decide these celebrations, and then they decide, like, oh, hey, what is going to be a guaranteed banger for us? Super Saiyans, right? It's always going to come down to Super Saiyans, fusions. The only time, like, these types of celebrations have not just been Super Saiyans is when it was, like, UI and, like, Beast and Orange Piccolo and stuff, right? Like, that's pretty much it. So, with this, to me, I mean, with the Super Saiyan aura and, like, the green tint up there, like, bro, I really think it's DBZ BROLY. It's hard to say exactly which, probably going to be movie 8. You know, if we look at Super Saiyan Goku right here, the Goku from that movie, that, you know, one shot explodes, bro. Dude, that movie is so goofy. They literally cannot touch Broly. And then it's like, all right, we've reached the end of the film. Time to just magically one shot. Time to just one shot him. Right? Like, yeah, Broly deserved an 80 episode anime arc. DBZ Broly did, right? Not like, all right, time's done. He's good. Time to get one shot. But that character would be sick in Dokkan. And I know we had our string of Super Saiyan Gokus, but, I mean, I just see no problem with a new Super Saiyan Goku right now. Look at this. All right, like, yeah, you know, throughout the 10 years of Dokkan, we've had a lot of Super Saiyan Gokus. But time moves fast, and very quickly, we've gotten to a point where there are no good Super Saiyan Gokus. Now, to be fair, this guy is going to come soon, or maybe soon, and he's probably going to be very good, this Namek Goku. But I see no reason why we can't get, you know, this Super Saiyan Goku from that Broly movie, right? And again, I mean, just looking at this, like, the aura, it seems to not just be, like, yellow Super Saiyan aura, but it seems to be the green for Broly. So I think Broly is what we're going to be getting. I do think that, like, a celebration centered entirely around DBZ Broly would, in fact, work. I do think so. There's, you know, 4 movies that have Broly in it. One of them, of course, is Dragon Ball Super Broly. So we could go with movie 8, when Broly first, you know, is introduced. Movie 10, when Broly returns and, you know, Gohan and Goten and them are fighting. And then, obviously, the Bio Broly movie. So we have a lot of characters out Easy A. Like, the Dokkan Fest Trunks and Goten are probably Easy A. In Broly, LR Tech Broly. Speaking of LR Tech Broly, I mean, this guy was one of the more hype releases ever in Dokkan history, because, remember, this guy was a global first by several months. And this guy, he had some of the animations that just wowed us when we saw it. it was mind-blowing how good this Broly's animations were, right? So, like, him Yang being a monster alongside, you know, some new Broly. I mean, this is movie 8 Broly right here. Let's look at what his leader skill might be. So he has movie bosses, Pure Saiyan, Full Power, Target Goku, Exploding Rage, Inhuman Deeds, Planetary Destruction, Legendary Existence, Power Beyond Super Saiyan. We literally just had a Broly leader with Full Power. If this guy has Exploding Rage as one of his leader skills, that includes this guy. So, remember that. Yeah, Exploding Rage would be pretty big. And there is Power Beyond Super Saiyan will be fire. What if he was like movie bosses, Exploding Rage, and Power Beyond Super Saiyan? That would be like a crazy leader skill. There's some different stuff they could do with a Broly here. Now, going back to it, we've had very little representation for, like, this version of Broly. And, I mean, I'll just pull up this one right here. Because, I mean, these are basically, this is the same card. These two versions of Broly have almost no representation in the game, pretty much. So, I mean, they could either make, like, this kind of, like, you know, the start of the character. Or it could be, like, a Broly and a Paragus or something like that. Couple of different ways they could do it. I wouldn't be shocked if kind of like the iconic Broly transformation was just used as an intro. Because if we take a look at it, let's look at the one, because Tech Broly has the iconic transformation thing, right? Let's watch the animation real quick. I mean, it does still look quite good. It does. But they can make it, you know, just use different camera angles, stuff like that. This could be an insane intro. I think the hype will be ridiculous if they give this guy, like, a really, really crazy intro. And then that fires off right away. Now, again, I do think that they could do both parts of it as Broly movie. I have even seen ideas of them doing movie 8, the Broly movie for part 1, and then maybe even going into like the BoJack movie for part 2, or going into a different movie for part 2. I do think that could work as well. Although, what do we think the chances are that they're going to build the celebration like around Broly? I mean, last year we had kind of like the, you know, the I remember the Fusion Zamasu rap and stuff like that. And we had, you know, Vegito as part 1. But, you know, part 2, remember, was Trunks and Future Gohan. So, I'm not sure. I wouldn't mind both part 1 and part 2 being Broly. But, I mean, that would be just completely blowing a lot of Brolys for, you know, quite a while. Because we just finally got Dragon Ball Super Broly again for the first time in quite a while. And then now to drop, like, 2 more Dokkan Fest LR or Carnival LR versions of DBZ Broly, presumably, would be pretty nuts. I don't think they will actually do it. But, I mean, Carnival or Dokkan Fest, Bio Broly would be insane. I don't think they'll do that, but that would be nuts. I would like to see Broly, I think, lead movie bosses, by the way. Because the last movie boss's leader is Hirudegarn. Bro, Hirudegarn feels like 500 years ago. Hirudegarn. Oh my god. I promise you guys, I am not dying to run him. No way. And then in terms of the others, there is this Gohan from the Broly movie. Very, very, very little representation. I do think that he could be like an LR in here. Sure, why not? The thing about that Gohan, they did use some of his animations for LR Future Gohan, actually. But, I mean, I think they could still just, you know, do an LR of this. I think that they also potentially could do a Super Saiyan Gohan, Super Saiyan Goku, and Super Saiyan Goten. This is not something that exists in-game right now, all 3 of these characters. The one thing, though, is if it's going to be a full Broly movie rotation, or celebration, does make you think why they did just waste this character. As I mean, LR Cooler was already kind of like about to reach, the end of his prime, and they just, that's what this character, this is the super class version of LR Cooler is what this character is. And they dropped it like that right when Cooler was about to be like completely out of here. So let me know what you guys think. Again, Broly, to me, I would put the chances as very high, like 90% or something like that. I do think Legendary Super Saiyan Broly, I mean, probably from movie 8, this is the movie 10 Broly, but probably from movie 8, will be the part 1 headliner. I think it'll work. I don't have a problem with Broly. Dokkan Fest LR, part 1, that will work.